The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Better? Okay. There's something with, there's a bug with GoToWebinar. And what happens is on our end, we hear this narration that the webinar is now starting. And if you hit the start button before she's done talking, then your audio doesn't work. And then you have to disconnect your audio, reconnect it. So I think we have finally found out what the issue is there. So just by giving me one or two words, how's everybody doing right now? Type in the chat, let me know how y'all are doing. Lee says awesome. Give me one word, just one word. Fantastic. Doing great, doing well, productive, good, feeling good, just great, good, woohoo. Will says improving, feeling better, good, yeah. I've been up all night. I have not slept at all just because of everything that's going on. Unfortunately, we were sick this week. I'm very, very behind where I want to be. I don't know what is with this year. It seems like every time a weekend comes around, one of us gets sick. And then for some reason, we're taking a lot of greens and juices right now and everything else. But we always end up sick just this year, like always sick all the time. So that kind of sets me back a little bit, but that's okay. Let me see if somebody is on the call here. Rick, are you on the call at all? I thought you were out here in Vegas right now. I wanted to get with you if you were, but I don't see you on the call. So, okay, cool. So here's what I want to do. I want to talk about, I like your hair today, nice hairstyle. I don't like all that extra hair right there, but she will take care of it when she gets home. That's a benefit of dating the hairstylist, right? She can always make you look incredible. So I'm going to give you some updates where we are at with the software and everything else. I'm waiting on a massive update today. That's going to be pretty exciting, and it's going to be with GC. And it's going to be, I'll tell you exactly where we're at with that. I'm a week behind with PopLinks because my lead developer, he actually lost his sister. So it was very sad when you understand my lead developer is only in his 20s. It's way too young to go. And at that point, I'm a pretty hard guy to work for, and I don't take any BS or anything else. But when it comes to that, you can't even. I don't care how strong you are, how reliable you are. Like, I'm just not going to let you come back. Like you really have to take some time off. So he wanted to come back. He knew everything we were doing. And I said, no, man, no. You got some stuff to process, man. I remember when I lost my dad, how hard that was. So we are a little behind where we want to be with PopLinks, but we're back in development as of this week. I'll show you some of the stuff going on with the timers and everything. The timers and the deadline funnels and everything are going to be pretty exciting. And then I'll kind of show you, a lot of people are sending me messages about QuizForma, and they're saying what makes QuizForma so different from anything else. I'll kind of show you some of those things too, even though I'm going to have to push that launch forward as well. Everything's just getting delayed. It's just getting delayed. I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or what it is, but we're still making good progress. Now, in addition to that, I talked about this on Monday's call. Everything that is happening, how many of you are paying attention? Hold on, Connie's asking me if I'm going to do the call. Hold on a minute. I'm on the call. All right. So I imagine that we opened your eyes to what you could be doing with AI, Chat GPT, and everything else. How many of you have been playing with that? Have been putting it to work? Have been using it for headlines? I got on a call with my server guy yesterday, who's been with me since 2008. His name's Kevin. A lot of you got to know Kevin when we had trouble with PopLinks. He was jumping in there and he was kind of updating, server issues and everything. And he called me up and goes, Chad, man, I want to get rid of all my clients. And I said, no, you don't. He goes, come again? I said, you don't want to get rid of any clients right now. I said, Kevin, have you not been paying attention to what's going on right now? What do you mean? I said, all this AI stuff, you've been paying attention? Oh, yeah, you keep hearing about this GPT thing and everything else. I said, Kevin, man, all of your clients, what if I told you you can now go to them and offer them done-for-you webinars, done-for-you sales pages? You can write all their email copy. You can do all of their social media. Not only that, you build websites. What if I told you that you could have complete mock-ups in about 35 seconds that you could send over to your clients? He was blown away. That's somebody that can instantly tap into this and make money, and he was absolutely blown away, and he was ignoring it. He was ignoring it. There's a lot of people that are ignoring this. Not only that, I'm going to show you a tool today that we've taken to a whole new level to do images, and to create limited images using certain prompts, and it just runs all the time by itself. And what we're doing is we're going out there and we're actually building websites from these images. So we're scraping data, we're pulling it into Webflow, we're going out there, we're getting images, and we're populating the websites as fast as we possibly can. Because right now it's a wild, wild west. There's not really any rules, right? So I'm going to kind of give you a demonstration of that tool because you can get started today for free. I don't have a link. It's not a JVZoo offer or anything else. I won't say that we won't promote AI tools, but I'm here to tell you, between ChatGPT, if you learn how to use that, and now they just launched BART yesterday, or BART or whatever it is from Google, and then we're waiting for Morning Glory to come from Amazon, and then the Landa or whatever it is from Facebook. When you learn to use those tools, folks, you really don't have to have a lot of software. Do you understand? Because what they're doing, and we're doing the same thing, what they're doing is they're just connecting an AI directly to that tool. I want to make sure, scale of 1 to 10, does everybody understand this right now? They're connecting an AI directly to that tool, and everything that you can do inside that tool, you can do inside of ChatGPT. You can. So I could show you one of the websites that we've built. We built it instantly, where there's 1,500 AI tools on there. And the thing is, most of those tools are all just AIs connected directly to OpenAI, right? So, like I said, don't get caught up like a kid in a candy store. Put this to work. The tool I'm going to show you today, you're going to see that most people are playing, not us. We are not playing at all. We're building out chemical brands. We're building out coffee brands. We're building out websites. Just this morning, I told AI to write me a piece of software. Write me a piece of software. How many of you have ever heard of Pocket? Has anybody ever heard of Pocket? Pocket's a Chrome extension. And I told ChatGPT, I said, go out there and create me a version of Pocket. And it did. It just said, here's your code. So I took that code and I gave it to one of my developers. I said, do me a favor, go install that real quick. Send me a screenshot, let me know if it works. He came back, he goes, it worked. I said, okay, cool. So we're going to customize it. We're going to customize that code so that it ties into my newsletter software that I'm over here building inside of bubble.io. So whenever Perry finds a video or he finds an article or he finds something he likes, he can go ahead and bookmark it using that extension, and then he can link it to his newsletter inside of Bubble. So whenever the staff goes in to create their daily newsletter, he's already got all of these selections that he wants to use. So when I see things, when he sees things, we're like, oh my God, this would be great to have for a newsletter. We now have a Chrome extension. Now, you may have remembered I built a Chrome extension with my product library. I built a Chrome extension with LCS. I built a Chrome extension with Video Geyser and all that stuff. I had to hire teams to go and do that. And now you simply type in a tool, please build me this, and it spits out the code. And I'm going to show you that. So how many of you are starting to get some ideas for just how powerful this stuff is? Like, it really is extremely powerful, right? So what I'm shooting for, because I don't quite have it done and I don't want to half-ass it, is I'm shooting to do the webinar this weekend, okay? Perry said he'd be on that webinar with me, but I'm probably gonna do it myself, to be honest with you, because it needs to be very, very laser focused, right to the point. So we're gonna be probably shooting for this weekend. That's my goal. I have all day today to work on it and tomorrow to work on it, and then I'm back in the office Friday. So that's where we're at there. Now, the direction with PopLinks, just so you know, once we finish these timers, then it's time to start going into the funnel building. And what's going to happen is, and I want to kind of get your guys' votes here, I don't want to screw up how fast you create a lead page, the confirmation page, and a bridge page. Could you all agree that that works pretty well? Would you all agree that works pretty well? Because see, now what we're getting ready to do is we're getting ready to have a front end sales page linked to the cart, and then have upsells kind of set up the same way you create your bridge page, okay? So with those, the only thing I can think of, when you have a simple lead page or whatever, and you're just flipping on videos and you're flipping on bullets, everybody likes that. We get the comments all the time. You like, you made it so easy for me. It's so very easy. Okay. But when we do the front end sales page, we're going to have it where you actually drop to certain points. Now, we have a full-blown page builder that will be set to go that matches the GC theme, right? A page builder and a brand new membership platform with all the AI and all that stuff. So PopLinks always has to be simple and it has to be fast. So I don't plan on getting into crazy sections and everything else. I plan on just building all the way down with it. Does that make sense? So you drag your video, you drag your images, you drag your text, you drag another image, you grab another text, you grab another this, you grab another that, you grab another this. I want you to be able to create those pages very fast, just like we started back in the day. And knowing that most people are on mobile anyway. So I never ever want to take away from the simplicity of that tool, right? So be looking for that. But the first thing that we know that we have to take care of, hold on a minute, let me make sure. The first thing that we have to know is, do we have the countdown timers working? That's extremely important, right? So with that, my plan was this, and I'll show you, if we create a timer, then we need to be able to have the timer in multiple places on the page. But it also may be that we want to have a bar at the bottom with the timer, a bar at the top with the timer, or maybe you want to have both. Maybe you want to have the timer on the page and you want to have the bar. So when we create the timers, that's separate from the bar. So in other words, you can have a bar at the top that has a headline and a button and some kind of call to action with no timer in it, and have the timer on the page. Or you can say, okay, there's my bar. Let me go ahead and pop the timer in there as well, right? So I think I'm going to start with this. I've got a lot to cover for you. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of cover that section with PopLinks. Also show you, did anybody do the clone to many feature yet? Has anybody done that at all? Clone to many. Last time we tried to demonstrate it and there was something funny going on with the spreadsheet. All that's been fixed. All that's been fixed. It creates the URL. Samantha, were you successful with it? Let's see if she was successful with it. She says she did. She said yes. Okay, good. Good. Now we'll have it later on where you map it, but right now, if you just keep the column data the same, you just populate that sheet just like I did on the last call, then you can just hit a button and it just goes and creates all your pages for you, right? So and I talked about this, so I'm not going to kill it too much, but just to recap, if I knew for the next month what the big hook was for the Accelerator call, then I could go and create out a month of pages where all Connie does is take the replay and she pops it in. Same thing with the Monday call, same thing with her prompts. She's had some deals going on lately too, so she's behind with everything. Sickness has just killed us all, right? So all of that is in place. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. So I'll show you what's going on with PopLinks. I'll give you kind of a tour of what we're doing with QuizForma, what's to come. And then I'm also, let me get access right now. I'm going to kind of show you the direction that GC is going, right? So let me get the link and log in. Okay, and then I'll kind of talk about GC, and I'm going to tell you what the problem is. And what the problem is with GC, like what I'll show you today will blow your mind as far as how fast it is, how beautiful it is, how everything connects, how everything's validated. Like, it's really, really good. The problem is this: we now have a migration issue because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get all of your accounts connected to the new version. Their advice to me was, well, just tell everybody to disconnect all their integrations and connect them again. I don't want to do that. I've gone back to them and said, look, you need to do that for them. When they log in the software, I want them to see that there's no interruptions, nothing. They didn't even have to do anything, right? Even though the whole entire back end of the software was updated, okay? So I'll see if I can get that for you. So let me start by logging into PopLinks, and then where we'll conclude, because I have a call at 11:30, so I'm going to be kind of fast today. Where we will conclude is I will show you the new tool that we're using to generate those images and how some of those prompts work, kind of show you how we're using it for business and how you could too. Does that make sense? 4 things we're going to show today. Cool? All right. Hold on a second. Okay, so let me bring over PopLinks here just for a minute. And I'll go ahead and turn off my camera. Let me see if I can share this screen over here. Okay. And let me turn off my camera. Okay. Can everybody see my screen right now? Okay. So obviously we know what this is. Now, how many of you have been playing? How many of you are seeing different indicators come in? White means it's a bridge page. Blue means it's a link. It's a link coming in. Special offers, traffic blasts. How many of you have been playing with this? And you can come over here and you can filter this and everything else. We've been testing this. I think we have this under control now, finally. I'm going to change the colors where they're a little bit brighter, but I don't really care about that. All I cared about was that we were collecting all of this data. And as you can see here, we're definitely collecting all of this data, okay? Now, just like the bridge page that I'm going to create for you after this call, if we come over here to our categories, right? We're going to put a loader on this page here, but if we come over to this category and if we come over here to roundtable, you can kind of start to get an idea how these things are shaping up, right? And we just keep cloning it over and over and over. We could clone to many. If I come over here to the Accelerator one, Tuesday. If you're not using categories, folks, you need to use categories. But for those of you that are out there building lists with solo ads and stuff like that, how many of you are starting to understand that this is really great content to offer to your people? That you could hop on a Zoom call, show some of the tools that you're using, show how to use PopLinks, show how to use, whatever you're using, maybe some of your AI tools, show how to create headlines, show how to create hooks, show how to get leads, show whatever you want. Record that Zoom call, create a simple little PopLinks page like this and mail it out to your people. Post it on your wall. How many of you are starting to see this right now? And then every single one of these, there is simply a place where, and I did it on Zoom, right? We did it on Zoom. Zoom's free, but we can come over here, and if they like what they see in the video and they see the bullets here and they see the comments coming in, if they like what they see, then they just come over here. It's a bridge page, folks. All I did was link directly to the Zoom call, and it's fine. And it's fine, right? How many of you have started thinking that way? Because remember what I told you, you want to focus on building a community. This is the very best way you're going to do that. Okay, hold on. Okay. Sure. All right. So now what's going to happen is there's a section over here. Hopefully it's not live in your account, but I have a feeling it is. If we create add timer, okay? I really don't like the fact that this is live right now. I didn't know this was live. I was just going to show you where it's at. But we'll just say 24-hour close, okay? And by the way, this is the first time that I've actually done this myself. So we can make this timer expire on an exact date and time. We can have it where it's evergreen. In other words, every single time they open up the page, it will show the same timer. Or we can have it where it's cookie based and it keeps track. If they open up the timer today and it says 3 hours, if they open it up an hour from now, it's going to say 2 hours, and it'll do that. Then we have some redirect actions taking place, right? And that's why I don't like this live. It might not be live in your account because we don't have this done. But what's going to happen is you're going to say, okay, redirect to this page, redirect to a PopLink page, or remove the timer. Basically, those will be the three things. Does that make sense? Then we come over here, we can go ahead and create a category for our timer. And I actually did not know that he was going to do that. So I'm just going to call this scarcity, right? So we'll create a new timer, new category. And then we come over here, and if it's cookie based, we're going to say, okay, there is 4 hours and 7 minutes left until this timer expires. And then we'll come over here and we want it red, and we want this black, or we want it white, and the timer text below, we want that white. Okay, now how many of you can do that? And if we want to include seconds, we can, and that's it. You're going to come over here, you're going to just choose your type. That's all you're going to do. So if it was exact date and time, you'll come over here and you'll say, okay, this thing is going to close on the 23rd at whatever time, right? Probably not 2 o'clock a.m., but probably 2 o'clock in the morning. And then you'll set your time zone. And I'm going to do everything I can to get rid of all of these complicated time zones. We did this with Everless, it drove me nuts. We don't need all of these time zones. We need like 4 time zones in America, but that's okay. I didn't know this was live, but if I click add timer now, what's going to happen is this will always have your timer left. Does that make sense? You will always know when you come into your timer how much time you have left. So what's going to happen now is inside your pages, and I don't think, like I said, I think it was a mistake that they made this live, but what will happen now is inside these pages here, you'll just come over here to this main area and you'll flip a switch that says add timer. And so then you'll have your timer, you'll be able to move wherever you want, and you'll just go ahead and pull in the timer that you choose. Does that make sense to everybody? But there's going to be another section that I have to lay out called top bars. And with the top bar, you will have it where it's up at the top or it's at the bottom. And if you want to have the same timer in there, you can do that as well. Okay, so all of these features are preparing us to go the direction of the funnel. Make sense? So the top bar is done by now, but we have those issues. Now, the other reason why I did this, folks, is how many of you are understanding that the timer is not tied to the page? Are y'all starting to get this right now? The timer is not tied to the page. Okay, so if I wanted to come in here And if I wanted to say it was exact date and time, then I'm going to come over here, and today is the 22nd, right? So I'm going to say the 27th at 10 o'clock a.m. Monday, 10 o'clock a.m. is when the next roundtable starts. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to go and place this timer on all of my replay pages for the roundtable. It's a universal timer. Is that making sense? Now what'll happen is when you go into the page, okay, I'm going to build it like this. If you remember when we added the comments, when you turn on the comments, what happens is at the bottom, even the bullets, there's always a header here. Well, you'll have the same thing with the timer. You'll have a header there, and then you'll have the timer below that, just like we did down here. And everybody really, really likes that. They said, you're making this super easy for me. And that's the idea, folks. We want this to be super, super easy, okay? Somebody's saying, how did you turn on the comments? It's very simple. If you click on the background, you come over here, this icon here, you just flip stuff on. If you want to have your video, you just flip it on. If you want to have your text block, you flip it on. If you want to have images, you just flip stuff on, right? And now we had a feature set up where when you click this, you can move it up and down. I need to find out why they have turned that off, but it's okay. Like this right here, we'll get this all set up and going again. Somehow I think we missed an update or something happened. But the idea is you'll clone elements, you'll drag them up and down. But what I'm trying to tell you is when we go into actual sales pages itself, you're not going to have this. Instead, you'll have a plus button, and you'll drag that plus button right here, and it'll be a new element, and then you'll drag it down here, and then you'll drag it down here. And because it's no longer just simple little bridge pages and lead pages, now you're going to go full-blown with a full-blown sales page. Make sense? Yeah, Dr. Jim, I am already thinking that direction. It's a little confusing for me right now, but as I was talking to you, as I knew I did the roundtable every Monday, it would be great if it just reset itself. I totally get what you're saying. I just need to figure out how to do that without complicating it. But now you're getting to the point where, man, we got a lot of stuff happening here, right? So we also have the link tracker, or I'm sorry, not the link tracker, but we also have the link rotator that we're going to add in here. And then how many of you have been using the split test? This is the one, we monitor everybody's activity, and this is the one underutilized thing that most people are not using, and it blows my mind. It blows my mind that you can just come in here and say, I want this test, this one, this one, this one, and it's going to give you a link, and all you have to do is nothing. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. So if you start to connect the dots here, you can actually come over here to the bridge pages. You can clone to many, right? So if I clone to many, and by the way, let me just download this sample CSV file here for you really quick, and let me show you that we got that fixed. But this clone to many, here you go. Here's a new CSV file, okay? This is the one that was sunk in us last time, right? The call to action. If you fill this out, it's going to give you as many pages as you want, right? Well, you can also tell it to give you a new theme, randomized theme. So if you can do that with the bridge pages now, folks, now you can just come over here to your split test for the bridge pages. And if this is the same exact page, but it's just got a different design, why not just go boom, 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 and let the software test it and find the one that does the best? Does that make sense? I'll look into that, Dr. Jim. It should be based on, if you're over here, it's based on clicks to the button. If you're over here, it's based on opt-ins. But I'll look into that and I'll see that for myself. So, okay, cool. So that's where we're at with PopLinks. Now, the issue with GC is this guy right here, okay? This guy right here, we set up natively inside of PopLinks. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take all your connections and automatically connect them to GC for you, right? So let me go ahead and log in as my lead developer very fast. And I'm going to show you that this is a whole new platform now that is just stellar. Okay, so let me go ahead and log in here. All right, there we go. And let me bring it over. And you're going to find that everything is connected extremely well. What they are doing now is all the tickets that we've been getting on integrations and everything else. They're in there adding all of these things in there. You can see that we added Maripost today. I think we added Campaign Refinery the other day. They are averaging about 5 integrations a day. Matter of fact, I can't get the team to keep up with the artwork now, right? But as you go through this, you'll find that it's a totally different process. It's fast. It will tell you, look, you screwed this up. So if I come over here and if I look at this detail now, you're going to see that everything is filled out. Here's all the tags. Here's the actions. If you open this up, all of this has been complete. If we come over here to workflows, right? All of this stuff is here. I can see the completed actions. Everything is here. Even the tags are different now, right? So I can go and now I can assign tags to people. It's just gotten 100% better. If you knew, see they're testing out SendBlue right now. The other one that everybody wanted, I can't remember, it starts with let or something, I can't remember, but that one's been added. They're testing that one out. So you come over here, you can see everything is all integrated. Like, it's just done very, very well. It's exactly what I wanted from the beginning. I just, you know, you have to go through your developers and find out what they're capable of, right? So be looking for the new GC. What we're doing is we're going through the whole entire migration process. We're getting all of your data over to the brand new one. When you come over to workflows, you see that the workflows are very simple now. They're clean. Everything is just very simple for people to be able to use, right? Nothing real complicated at all. You'll be able to do this stuff very quickly. See all the little messages up here telling you it really is a badass platform, guys. It really is an incredible platform. You don't have this yet. Notice the domain up here. It's on a dev server, but you will have this here very soon. Okay. So these are all things that we are working on, that we've been working on like night and day. You know, if you remember with the old GC, we didn't have the tags working. Well, now the tags are coming in. Now the workflow's coming in. Now we have the entry points. Now the live activities appearing. Everything is working perfectly, right? So thank God, because that was definitely a big stress, but we're getting that under control now, okay? So now what I want to do is let me go ahead and show you how QuizForma is going to be working. And I don't even think we're going to call it QuizForma. I think we're going to call it something else. But when you see the detail, how many of you have purchased a quiz tool before? Anybody? Yeah, okay. So the difference is, first of all, we're kind of following the lead of PopLinks. So you may notice it's similar in design. The difference is with the quiz tool, you really need to have it where you can drag and drop, right? So you may notice a lot of things that you've seen in the past, and then there's going to be things that you've never seen before, like visual splashes. And we come down here, obviously ratings and stuff. But then we come over here and we have percentages, all kinds of cool stuff. With us. Okay.
Damn it!
So
because
how it
I was
works
see if she
now
could
that
work
you're starting
this last
to
2 weeks.
understand the power of tags and GC and everything else, This right here we call power types. That's why we have a rocket. And what that means is there's a drop-down menu, there's a yes or no, there's an options, or there's an image options. And in any case, because you're making a choice, we know what you've done. So because of that, we can fire off a tag. So if I had a question here that said, what are you most interested in learning? And I had a picture of live events, I had a picture of AI, I had a picture of Facebook ads, and somebody chooses Facebook ads, then I could go ahead and fire off a tag saying that this person is interested in Facebook ads. Does that make sense to everybody?
Heather would be working.
So this tool has taken a lot of thought, and as much thought as PopLinks has.
I wonder why she's
moving back to New York. The reason why, folks, is because remember, we're not here to launch products. We're here to have incredible evergreen products that people will use for the next 10 years, hopefully longer, with the way we've done it, right? So we have power types, and by the way, if I show you the power types again, so obviously, we can disqualify somebody if they choose an answer. We were the first ones that came up with that, folks, long before anybody else did. Based on how they answer, we can jump them to another question. You have hidden questions also. You can, if I want to turn around and take this question and not have it in the survey, then I can mark it as hidden. And then it appears in another section over here where I can say, show me my hidden question. So now I can just go ahead and reference a hidden question on that jump, okay? What else? Here's where the tags happen. Everything is marked as required. You don't have to make it required. And then, of course, you can mark things as hidden. Now, how many of you would know exactly what to do with all of this? Just without even watching a tutorial video, you can see that there's been a lot of thought where we say, okay, if they answered dog, then go ahead and redirect them over here to this question, right? Or redirect them over here to this hidden question, or take them out to the confirmation page or an external URL of our choice. And I want to also do, if they answer cat, then go ahead and take them over here to this question. Very simple. Very, very simple. Okay, so now look, you're focused on the logic right now. And you're just coming over here and you're just dragging stuff in just like this. And by the way, this is what we're going to have for PopLinks too. We're just going to have it where you drag it in. If I want to have a large comment, if I want to have a short comment, if I want to delete that, if I want to have contact information, name, email, phone number, birth date, these are called splashes, right? So if I say, is it this one? I think it's this one. Nope. Multi-splash, visual splash. Here's a percentage splash. There should be a name splash, but I'm just not looking in the right place. And then we have ratings. And we'll just keep adding to these, okay? But what happens is, based on how people answer, we can then talk to them that way. And so if we get somebody's name, we can keep referring back to the name. And folks, this is going to be the key to making these quizzes work with social media today, like Pinterest and Facebook and stuff like that. But now that we've done that, obviously if we come over here, right away you're going to see that we can do a direct integration, or we can go ahead and fire off our tags. So for people that don't understand GC or whatever, they're going to be able to do a direct integration. But the thing is, they think they're integrating with this software. They're actually integrating with GC. Does that make sense? All of our software, you might think you're integrating with the software, you're integrating with GC. So what's really cool is once they've set up the integrations with GC and they become familiar, then they go, oh my God, this tags thing is incredible. I had no idea the tags could work this way, okay? So standard, qualified, disqualified, just like you saw with the first LCS, okay? But now, once we got this all set up, right, we have our questionnaires, we have our intro screen, we have our exit screen, okay? And the exit screen is really cool because yes, we can send them to a custom URL, or we can have messages show up, but I can also display different messages based on the fact that they're qualified, if they're disqualified, if I want to choose a tagging type over here, so based on answer, and I want to base it off this question here, then if they choose answer option number 1, then show them this message with this link, or if they choose option number 2, show them this message with this link. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to pull in the scores and the definitions of the scores and everything else. But what I want to know is how many of you are looking at this tool right now and you're saying, Chad, this is a really easy tool to use? Because it has been redesigned over and over and over and over, because every time I get in there, I'm like, man, that's confusing. That's confusing. Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? Okay. Well, now that you've gone through and you've just done a drag and drop, and by the way, if we want to switch this up here, we can, or if we want this back down here. Okay, now that we've done the drag and drop and everything, folks, we're going to come over here and we're going to actually go into the designer. And it's not as sophisticated as PopLinks. It doesn't need to be, because a quiz, it's very important that it is consistent, right? So I can kind of flip through here and I can kind of see some of the different things that I'm able to do. So if I want to come over here, this is what we call a splash. And with a splash, I can go ahead and pull in somebody's name, right? Well, what's really cool, and it really surprised me, was that we can go ahead and do, we can do video splashes on mobile. I didn't even know we could do that, right? So obviously you're seeing different things than what you've seen in the past, right? So we're setting this thing up so that it is absolutely incredible, right? So we go through the editor here, and we can very easily, just like you did with PopLinks, if you want to come over here and if you want to change the background, if you want to make it a gradient, if you want to load an image, you can do all that stuff. We want to come over here, and if we just want to change out the button real fast, like I've done everything I can to make this very stupid simple. Okay, so you just go through here and you set up your customization. You look at it, you're like, man, you know what? I'm liking this. This is happy. This looks good. I got gradients here. I can make the font size bigger. I can change out the fonts. You have a lot of customization happening here with this quiz tool. And just like you learned with PopLinks, you can change the spacing before, the line height, everything that you learn with PopLinks, folks, I'm letting you do inside of QuizForma. And what happens is you now know that if we come over here to the shuffleboard, the template gallery, we can just go ahead and choose a different theme, and it'll pull in our whole entire questionnaire into the theme. Now, what people have done before is they've taken this theme and they've made it a blue background and a green background and a red background and an orange background and a black background, and they've called that different themes. Folks, those aren't different themes. Do you understand that? What we're actually creating are different themes. Like, you'll have the same questionnaire types, but the buttons will be different on this theme. The text will be different on this theme. The placement will be different. Same thing over here. So we truly do have different themes with what we're doing. And then we come over here, we have our entries, just like you would expect, where you have qualified, disqualified. You can come over here, you can click this button here, and you can actually see their response here. You can see if they were qualified. Everything that we did right with LCS, you have inside this tool, right? So Mark is saying, yes, a theme is nothing more than a background color, typically, but that's not the case with us. Okay, that's not the case with this tool. And then when you go to publish, that's where you're gonna go. We haven't finished this part yet, but that's where I'll give you a script if you want to pull it into a PopLinks page or whatever you want to do, right? But if I go ahead and click this eyeball here, you're going to see that these tools, this quiz loads super fast. Okay, we got the validation here. I haven't even done this one. I didn't even know that we had a birth date. I put it on there, but we have drop-down menus, like all this cool stuff. We have it to where we have timers here. We can forward, back. There's so much stuff that you can do with this tool, right? But again, I want to make sure that it is absolutely perfect before we even launch it. So if I want to go back in the questionnaire, the one that I want to show you is this guy right here. So let me move him to the top, and you can kind of see what we're doing is we're working on the load times right now, but what it'll do is it'll bring in that nice visual image. And so that's how you're able to go and start your quiz. Now, how many of you have ever seen a quiz start like that? Freaking amazing, right? So all of this stuff is being worked on, and we just We know that we have a powerful suite with GC. The membership platform, folks, will be the same theme. It'll be a different color. The page builder will be the same theme, and that will be the whole entire suite. And then tools like QuizForma, Revolver, PopLinks, everything else, they're all going to tie into GC. Does that make sense? Now, I wanted to do the launch on April 11th. The problem is the AI Bot Summit's probably going to have close to 500 people, and it's taken a long time, a lot of work to be able to fill that event, right? So we're going to have to push it forward because I want to make sure I have Perry's attention on QuizForma because of all the work that we've done and everything. It's going to be an incredible tool, folks. And by the way, his big thing was, Chad, when you build this tool, if I get somebody's email or phone number at the front and they fill out 3 questions, 3 out of 12, make sure we can record that entry. Because most quiz tools, if somebody leaves in the middle of the quiz, then it doesn't record the entry. Well, we're going to record the entry as soon as we get an email or a phone number. Okay? So, how many of you are excited now? You can see that we are working. My final step, and it's a tough one, is I'm trying to find a way to bring AI into this. So if you say, create me a quiz for diabetes, it's going to say, how many drop downs do you want to have? How many multiple choice do you want to have? How many yes or no questions do you want to have? And it's going to just go and fill the whole entire thing out for you. That's where I'm trying to get to. We know that we can very easily come over here and have it to where AI will rewrite this very easily. But now I want to have it where AI will create the whole entire quiz for you. And it's taken me a minute to really think that through, right? So let me conclude with this guy right here. Okay. This guy is a little bit complicated to understand, but this is called Midjourney. How many of you are familiar with Midjourney? If you've ever used Discord before, every single one of you are going to try this today. You want to download Discord. You can get started with Midjourney for free, and then it's like $10 a month. Now, what we have done is we have gone and built a bot for Midjourney. Okay, so I'm going to kind of explain how this works a little bit so that you understand. But right now, these are all people. I can go into a different room if I want. These are all people that are creating images inside of Midjourney. So this person just went and created this logo inside of Midjourney. Now, the weakness of Midjourney right now is it can't read text. So it does report back some crazy stuff. Now, here's all you need to learn about Midjourney, okay? This person right here was able to make these images because it used this prompt. So it said Beyonce as Marvel Storm, photorealistic, ultra realistic, breathtaking, intense. So if I wanted to, I could go ahead and just copy her prompt and I could run it again and get similar results. Now, you can see that below each result, so this person right here, image of a woman looking at horizon with one hand on her belly and the other one holding the flower, hyper-realistic, photorealistic, great detail, photo cinematic capture with, this goes into camera settings. And so it went and returned these 4 images, okay? Now, if I like this image, what I'm able to do is I'm actually able to go and make a high-res version of this image, or it would be this one right here. This goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could click on U1, and that's going to make me a big version of this image. Or I can click on V1, and it's going to make me 4 variations of this one image again. So if I click on U1, you're going to hear it. It makes a sound if I wasn't muted. And then what's going to happen is at the bottom here, and you can create your own channels, but that's a topic for another day. at the bottom here, you're going to see that big image come up. And then what I'm able to do is I'm able to go ahead and save it to my computer, and I can use it. Now, and I'll show you how to do some of this stuff, but what I was telling Kevin, my web designer, is I was telling him, I said, dude, you can instantly go and create website mockups now. You can create logos. You can do so much stuff for your clients that you couldn't do before. And he came back and he told me, he said, dude, I'm absolutely blown away with what you can do with this whole Midjourney thing, right? So you can see people are making variations to their logos. So I can keep coming back to it and I can keep making variations to it, right? So if you're not using Midjourney, you should. Now, where we're using Midjourney is we're using it on a lot of our website properties like Survival Life and stuff like this. But it's very interesting just to learn how this is happening. So this person said, make a logo for the educational center, right? So let me see. Where's that one at? Make a logo for the educational center, Adam. Well, look, it can't do that. So it just does something similar. Like there's an issue with the text. I'm sure they're going to get that fixed here pretty soon. But how many of you are seeing the potential with what we can do here? So if I came over here, how you start the prompt is you do / and then you type the word imagine. And what that does is that triggers the Midjourney bot. So if I hit return, now what it's doing is it's asking me for a prompt. So I'm going to say, make me a supplement bottle to help with acne. Okay, I'm being very generic. Okay, ACNE. I'm going to go and I'm going to hit return. Okay, so it's sending the command, and then what's going to happen is it's going to go. Let me see if we're going to hear a sound here in a minute, and it's going to return that image. And then what I'm able to do, folks, is I'm able to drill down on that image even more. I can keep modifying it. I can ask it for different variations, but we'll hear it here in a second, I think, if my audio's up. And I need to go find that other image we made.
Just passed it.
But these are all images that people are making right now. So you can really learn how they're using the prompts. See this here, the Dragon Challenge, a young knight must courage and quit thinking to do. I'll tell you another secret too, is we can also go into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to create us a prompt as well. Okay, so let me see. I haven't seen it yet. It's super busy, but you'll hear that, unless I already missed it because my sound was down. But you'll hear it when it comes in. Let me make sure I didn't hear it. Those are images. Okay, there it was. There was a sound. And let's see, it's going to pop up. Let's see, violin, sky. So the better you get at prompting in both ChatGPT as well as Midjourney, the better you're going to be at this, right? So let me see. Okay, make me a supplement bottle to help with acne. Okay, so it made this. So now what I can do is I can say, first of all, I don't like it. I can give it more detail now, right? Or what I can do is I can give it an image path, and I can say, go ahead and reference this image. Okay, so I'm going to say, give me 4 variations of this. Okay. And I also want to make sure, let me see, / settings, return. Okay, these are my settings here. Did it do it? / settings. Okay, here's my settings. I want to make sure that I'm on version 5. Okay. So all this stuff is kind of new to y'all, but it made a sound already. So here's the 4 variations that it's given me. Okay, so it's still coming in. If I look at this up here, hold on, let me see where it went. If I look at it's at 55% right now. Okay, now it's at 83%. So now what I'm going to do is I'm showing you how it can be very, very general, and then we can get very, very specific with it. Okay, so I can actually tell it a name, but I'm going to say, let's see, this is the one. Let me come down here, and I can reference them on the left as well, but I want you to see the different images and the different types, because I have a feeling every single one of you are probably going to go play with this today. So each one of these images has different variations somewhere. See the number of pills here, the powder, the shadow, there's different variations, but I'm going to say, okay, I like version 4. And what it's going to do now, as soon as we hear that again, here it comes, version 4. It was right here, version 4. Okay, see how it says cancel the job? As soon as we hear it again, it's going to give me the big image, and then I can go ahead and save it. And it's a pretty good size. So what we're doing, just to kind of give you an example of some images, if I can get this to open over here, I'm going to tell you how scary this is, and I kind of mentioned it on the call, right? So we're over here working on the Survival Life brand. And so if you look here, what I wanted to do is I wanted to see if it was possible to do what I think is possible to do with a real artist. So I'm not a Photoshop artist, folks, but Midjourney made this image here. So instead of going out there and hiring people to come in and do a photo shoot, I can turn around and have Midjourney make images just like you're seeing here, and then I can bring in our brand to the image. Does that make sense? This is our brand right here on the image. So these are the kind of prompts that you can do with Midjourney. And it's just getting better and better and better and better. Now, how many of you see the value in what I'm showing you here? Every single one of you can get started with this today. You might have to go, look, that one was really good. So when you see something that's really good, learn from it. That one looks really good, right? So what was their prompt? Stockholm street style photo of a woman, 22 years old, short blonde hair, camera contact, happy smiling, summer shine. So look how detailed they are, and this is what it's going to return. The future is here, folks. It's happening fast. Super, super fast, right? But now let's come back over here, and I'm going to say / let's go to ChatGPT for a minute. Let me see if I can get to ChatGPT. I have just a minute left, and let me see if I can show you how ChatGPT can actually write. You can see here today, I said, can you write me a code for the Pocket Chrome extension? And it just went and wrote me this JavaScript. And I had my guy go plug it into a Chrome extension, and it worked. It worked. Like, ChatGPT, folks, is writing code. So think about all the extensions that you can go and knock off. And you can go hire somebody if you don't know code and everything, that's fine. But man, we're just hiring people that know JavaScript and know Python. And I'm just giving them a task. Matter of fact, I can show you here. I come over here, and if I click on this, this is one of my favorite new developers that I hired on Upwork. And I told him, I said, right here, you can see this morning, I said, okay, this is where he's running that bot for Midjourney. But then I said, here's what you should do. Just install that extension for me and see if it works. Let me know on that. He said, okay, I'm on it. That was at 9:20. I said, then finish your Midjourney bot. Then let's go back to that extension. He said, sure, I'll let you know if it runs. And at 9:30, he came back and said, Chad, the code works. And I was like, no freaking way. I said, show me a screenshot. And he showed me. And the code worked. So then I was like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and modify that code. Folks, I'm going to save like at least a month's worth of work and so much money because I told ChatGPT just to go write me a piece of code. That's super scary, by the way. But now I'm going to say, are you familiar with, let's see, with the Mid-Journey bot? Let's see what it says. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar. It does know it though, right? So let's try this. Can you write me a Mid-Journey prompt for a supplement bottle for a brand that cures acne? Okay, so even though it told you it doesn't know what Mid-Journey is, folks, don't take its word for it. I told you last time, treat this thing like an employee. An employee's gonna tell you, no, I don't wanna do that, no, it can't be done, and you're gonna be like, okay, well then do this, right? You don't accept the answers it gives you. Do you understand that? You gotta keep going back to it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take this prompt and we're gonna go back over here to Mid-Journey, which is right here, and I'm gonna say imagine, and let's see if it takes this prompt. Sometimes it doesn't, right? I'm gonna go ahead and paste that there, and there it goes. Okay, so we heard it. All right, I need to really create my own channel. I don't do this stuff much, folks. I have staff that are doing all this stuff. Okay, but as soon as we hear that sound, plumber pitcher who says goodbye. As soon as we hear that sound, let's see what it returns. So if you use ChatGPT, it will, folks, it knows a lot about code. It knows a lot about prompts. It knows a lot about the tools. Not only that, you could turn around and, if you think about all the frameworks that I've had over the years, I could turn around and ask ChatGPT. I could say, hey, I have a process. Somebody tell me one of the frameworks that you've heard me say over the years. We've come up with so many different processes, right? Take it the survey sales machine. I could say that I have a process that takes surveys and turns it into a sales process. Can you create a new name for me? And it's going to give you, names, right? So let's see. So that kind of returns. So if I look at this, it's not great. You really got to play with these prompts. But what you'll see is, we're gonna look at this big one here. That's actually not bad. That's really clean and everything else. But it will get super detailed for you. I can tell it to, have the beach as a background. I could tell it to have Vegas as a background. The very best way is just watch what other people are doing. And by the way, if I want to take this, let's take this guy here. I can go ahead and copy the image address, and I can come back over to, I can say imagine, return, and I can tell it whatever I want to do. Take this image and make the background the beach. And then I can just go ahead and paste that image there, and it can refer back to that image and it can redraw it. Right? So Discord's a little bit of a pain in the butt. See, this right here would capture my attention. So I look and she's got like sun, lightning. Also, and I'm not trying to be offensive, but also you can see that she's enhanced in the breast area. Now, understand, folks, I'm over here trying to build a site for survival life. So we have to have hot chicks and we have to have hot guys, right? So I'm over here telling Mid-Journey, I'm creating these images, and I'm saying, okay, can you make her chest fuller? And it gives me a warning. Can you do this? It gives me a warning. Can you do? So I tried 3 different, very friendly, non, confrontational terms that are very common, and it locked me out. It said, you've been suspended, you're under manual review for 4 minutes. So in 4 minutes, it gave me back my account. So I kept getting warnings, but it didn't tell me you got 1 chance left. Don't do that, right? So try to see, okay, well, why were they able to get a woman who is endowed, or whatever you want to say? Well, imagine a medium shot of a white woman wearing a t-shirt captured with this camera, create soft, either feel, shallow depth of field. I've also noticed that when they mention like a woman with a sensual body or something like that, then the images come out, I don't want to say provocative, but they come out a little more realistic. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand? But be careful. Like for the longest time, when this started, you would open it up and you would see porn images like all over the place. And now everything's changed. But here's the scary part, folks. This is the scary part. And this is what I was telling you. The propaganda that's about to come from all this AI all around the world, it's going to be crazy. I've seen pictures where Trump was fighting with the police, and I would have sworn it was real. I would have sworn it was real. You can tell, obviously, by looking at this, it's fake. But you can make very realistic photos, okay? So there is a lot of AI tools out there, folks, that will create these images and everything, but it comes down to you understanding prompts. And when you think you got it, look at these logos. When you think you got it, go on Fiverr and see how other people are doing it, and you'll be blown away. You will be blown away. So can you use this? Look, he's trying to make it better, right? Where was that? Can you use this for PopLink backgrounds and images and everything else? Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. Right? Look at that. So what did he type in? So if we look at this here, I think he referred to an image, right? So look, he took this image and he just pasted it. So let's try that. So if I come over here and if I look at Al Pacino, okay, let me find yeah. So if I go and if I grab Al Pacino, okay, actually what I want is, you can load the image, but I'm just going to go ahead and grab the image address, and we're going to come back in here and we're going to say imagine return, and I'm going to go ahead and paste that there. Okay, and let's see what happens. Cannot use version 5 with a single prompt. Please add another image prompt or text prompt. Okay, but that guy up there did it, right? So there's a lot to learn. There's tricks that you'll see people doing. Obviously, there's a way now to take images from outside properties, outside of Midjourney, and get it to rewrite. But it's incredible. So it's definitely a tool that's going to work good for QuizForma. It's going to work good for PopLinks. It's something that you need to learn, and you can go ahead and find other websites that are giving you prompts. Like, this is pretty good, right? Cat standing up to cat bullies. So he didn't go into photo lenses or anything. Now, I will tell you one thing. I'll leave this here. All of the stock image sites have pending lawsuits against AI. And the reason why is because they're saying that AI did not have rights to learn to teach their engines from all of their images, right? So who knows where that goes? I'm not worried about it. I don't think you're going to stop this from happening. I just don't see copyright issues. I don't see there's too many tools out there. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give you guys a site that we built. Let me see how it's going. We built this site using Webflow, which is extremely complicated. But let me see if I can show you this here, and then I really got to get on that other call. Yeah, this is our Webflow site. So I'm going to link it. It'll be called aitoollabs.com. You can see that we currently have 1,564 AI tools in here. So everything from business to chatbots, we're building this out right now. All of this information's coming in dynamically. But if you want to come over here to design or see all these different AI tools, we're constantly populating them. We're still building this site today. And the reason why was because I wanted to have a site that I could show at the AI Bot Summit that we built with Webflow, because it's a no-code tool, right? But if you like this spell box, it's game-changing, then you can just go ahead and click this here, and we'll just redirect you over to the site, right? So now you can go through and learn all about what Spellbox is. But the reason why I'm showing you this is not to show you that we built a Webflow site, because it was kind of an experiment, but it was more so to show you how fast tools are being created with the APIs. Does that make sense? So later on today, you will have chat AI toollabs.com. Okay, I just put that in the chat. Just bookmark that. That's where you will go later on today. We'll have it linked on the domain and everything. The thing is, folks, everything from let me just kind of be inspiration to you, okay? All of this stuff, man, I don't know. I'm just jumping in, right? We're over here building out this freaking newsletter thing that is turning out to be incredible, right? To where it's just going to go and write newsletters for us without me having to even do anything. Every single day, I'm going to have an outsourcer come in here, and she's going to come over here to this HTML button, and she's going to send out this newsletter to as many properties as we want. Well, I'm taking no-code software called Bubble, combined with Airtable, combined with AI, and we're just figuring stuff out. We're watching YouTube videos. We're learning the tools. We're learning how everything works, and we're just jumping in. But I'm not coming to you as an expert, folks. I'm out there seeking the opportunities. So this site, what if I told you that we went and scraped another site, we went and found new thumbnails, we rewrote the descriptions, and within minutes, we loaded a sheet and we have a brand new website. Isn't that crazy? Now, I couldn't figure out how the filters worked, so I went and hired somebody on Upwork. I said, hey, I need you to do this filter thing over here for Webflow. And we'll use it. We'll build a list with it. We'll get ranked for every single one of these platforms. But we don't know what we're doing. We're just learning as we go. In the spare time that we have, while we're not building PopLinks and not building QuizForma and not building GC and not trying to run the AI Bot Summit and run Survival Life and everything else, this stuff is fast and it's easy, folks. And you can very easily hire somebody on Upwork that can just sit here and figure this stuff out for you. Okay? So anyways, let me just go ahead and do this really quick. I got 10 minutes left before I got to get on this call. and it's important. So here's what I'm going to do. Just to kind of set the example for you real quick. Where is my PopLinks? Hold on a second. Let me open this up over here. I didn't write any notes or anything because I knew my time was limited today. But did you all get a lot of value on this call? How many of you got a lot of value on this call? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come over here very quickly. I'm going to come to bridge pages, and I'm going to look for, is it in this account? Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's come over here to the bridge pages, and I'm going to go ahead and look for Accelerator. Okay, and I'm going to clone this guy. Clone bridge page, clone. Okay, here's what I'm going to do very quickly. Here's the copy. I'm going to go ahead and set up the URL, and I'm going to make this, let's see, the old one was AC1. So I'm going to make this AC2. This is where the replay will be. Okay, I'll put some notes on here. But let me just go ahead and do this. Copy URL. Very quickly, go ahead and tell me on that page that I just gave you what your light bulb moment is. Let's spend like 5 minutes. Let's see if I can get some comments right here at the bottom because these comments are different comments. So far I have 2. So can you tell me on a scale of 1 to 10, how did we do on the call and what your big light bulb moment was? Because I'm trying to show you how you can use PopLinks, how you can use the comments, right? So let me change that. On a scale of 1 to 10, how was the call and what was your big light bulb moment? Okay, so let me go ahead and do this here. Here we go. Question mark. All right. So let's see if we can get some people to comment here on that. Usually I do it directly in Facebook, and that's cool, but you really want to focus on getting comments on the pages, folks, okay? So Scott says, my brain can hardly keep up with the new tech being demoed today. Yep, exactly. Marcus says, missed the live call this morning. So can you send the replay? Okay, that was 6 days ago. All right, so we did send the replay, but let me see. Scott was the first one to do it. Can we get some more comments here, folks? Can we get some more comments? Let me see. You can see down at the bottom, it's waiting on Facebook. That's their widget. You can see how fast our page loads, and then their widget sucks, but it's okay. All right, newest. Jim says, great call. Moment was how to use AI image tools to create unique images for my own pages. Courtney says, love the way the quiz tool is coming along nicely and how it's going to use AI. Scott says, my brain can hardly keep up with the new tech being demoed today. Marcus says, okay, let me just refresh it one more time. I got my call coming in. Cool. All right, comments are coming in. Good. In less than 1 hour, Chad nicely blew my mind with what you can do with PopLinks GC plus using AI to create images. Today's accelerated call was a 10 out of 10. My light bulb moment is the mid-journey, PopLinks updates with timers and many more. Yeah, watch for those updates on the timer, folks. We will definitely get that done, okay? Awesome. All right, so comments are coming in. That's where I'm going to conclude. Watch for my updates. I'll keep you posted with that webinar, folks. Thank you so much. Please go out there. There's amazing opportunities out there. We'll get the replay page out to you. Thank you so much for leaving the comments. And hopefully I'll be talking to you this weekend. Have a great day, everybody.